Hello everybody, we're doing some more stuff, and today, I have my windows open, so you're gonna have to deal with that for just like a little bit, because it's freaking hot, guys. It's freaking hot. I don't know what to tell you. It's freaking hot town, okay guys? So I'm driving home right now, and I'm driving home from my dad's place, my Granny Graham's place, and what's fun is that whenever I'm over with my dad, I have a couple of things that I do with him. Number one is I play Super Smash Bros. Melee and sometimes P+ with him. P+ is, of course, the mod for Brawl that makes it like Melee, but with all these cool characters and cool mechanics and stuff. But mostly we play Melee. Because something about Melee just feels better, and I actually can't put it into words. Like, I don't know what it is that makes it feel smoother, but Melee feels so much smoother and more buttery when you move. I don't know if it's like, am I supposed to turn here or not? You know what? Regardless, I know how to go if I don't turn here, so I'm just gonna head straight. But yeah, so something about Melee just makes it feel so buttery smooth. Like, you'll wave dash and it feels so good, and you just like slide along the floor, and then the next thing you do out of the wave dash feels great. But like, I don't know, like if you've played Melee, maybe you'll know what I mean, where like Captain Falcon's wave dash feels kind of choppy, as opposed to like Fox, Falco, Icy's, Luigi, Marth, like these more slippery kinds of characters. I don't know if that's like the traction or what, right? I don't know if that's just like high traction characters. But Captain Falcon, or sorry, I don't know if the ones that feel nice have low traction and they just slide better. But what I'm trying to say is that in Captain Falcon in Melee feels a little choppier, and I don't know if that's because of his high traction or what, but he just feels a little choppy. I don't know if maybe it's just the animation that he doesn't like feel as slidey, slippery, but it doesn't, and that kind of choppy feeling is how I feel when, also I rolled up my windows, I don't know if you guys noticed, that choppy feeling. I have to put on my glasses, dude, it's so bright. I put on the sunglasses. That choppy feeling is how I feel when what's it called? The choppy feeling is how I feel when I'm friggin' playing P+. Like, I'll play Pit, and I'll just feel so choppy. And I love Pit. I think he's so fun. But he just feels kind of choppy. And I'm also pretty bad at him right now. Like, because I haven't played in so long. And I've been really focusing on Melee and Rivals, and then I play a lot of Smash Ultimate on Mondays with my, like, gaming club. So, you know. Yeah. It just feels a little choppy. So I don't know why that is. I don't know, and the thing is, I don't think it's distance, right? Because, like, Captain Falcon's wave dash probably goes about the same distance as Sheik's, but Sheik's feels a lot smoother. In Melee, I mean. And then in P+, like, some of my Pit wave dashes feel just as long as, like, my Falco wave dashes, you know? But they don't feel as buttery. And I don't know why. I truly don't know why. But that basically results in me enjoying Melee more. And also just, like, all the movement. Like, the engine just feels so smooth. Everything you do just flows beautifully. P+ is, like, a great game, but I don't feel the same way when I play it. And I just love the top tiers of Melee. I just love the characters. And they're in P+, but they're, like, slightly altered. And, like, I don't enjoy the way that Falco feels. I think that Fox feels way choppier in P+ than he does in Melee. Sheik is awesome in both games, actually. Marth is awesome in both games. But, you know, my two guys, Fox and Falco, the Spaceys, my besties, they don't feel as good. And I haven't learned how to play Wolf. I have always said that when P+ has rollback, because it'll happen someday. There are people working on getting rollback for Brawl. But whenever that happens, whenever Brawlback exists, and I can play P+ online... Oh my goodness, they stopped pretty fast. Whenever I can, like, reliably play P+ online, I'll learn how to play Wolf, and then I'll have some real appreciation for him, you know? But until then, it's like, why would I learn this if I don't even have anyone to play with? You know? So, that's that, really. I have to turn right here, but there are friggin' a bagillion cars. Yeah, so why was I bringing that up? Okay, so that's the first thing we do is we play Smash and we play P+. Or we play Melee and P+. The other thing that we do together is we, like, lay down and watch stuff. So, you know, this involves me showing my dad my TikToks, like an otter shows you their smoothest rock. This involves... I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, sorry guys, wow. But this involves my dad watching terrible movie clips on his iPad while I do something awesomer on my phone. And this time, actually, guys, I know I said I wouldn't do it. I've been reading One Piece, okay? And I just happened to be, in my reading, at the Fishman Island arc. I'm at the Fishman Island arc. And that's just where I'm at, okay? It just so happens that One Piece is in a hiatus right now. It's in a 6-month anime hiatus. And I think that the reason for this is so that they don't catch up to the manga and they don't have to make filler episodes. But I'm not 100% sure. I just, like, that's what I think is happening. I haven't really looked into it. So, in absence of the, like, main anime, they have been releasing Fishman Island remake episodes. They're remaking Fishman Island anime. So it just happens to be that while I'm reading it, it's currently airing. So last night I guess I should say, but really yesterday too, I was reading Fishman Island and then watching the anime for it and then reading it and, like, seeing which one I liked better. And at least for the Fishman Island remake, I like the manga more. And I think I am just a manga fan more. Like, I think I am gonna prefer the source material, like, for One Piece, like, forever. And you know, we'll see later, because someday I will catch up. I used to think I wouldn't. I will catch up. Someday I will catch up to at least the art style change, because there was an art style change where, like, the show became beautiful. There's, like, the original art style, which looks great, but it's an old anime, and it's, like, kind of slideshowy, you know? And then, there was, like, a time skip, and just before the time skip, there was a switch to using digital as opposed to, like, analog art, if that makes sense. And that just takes out all the, like, old 90s anime charm, and it just kind of looks uglier, right? Like, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, I want to start watching when it's HD so that it finally looks good. But I think they're stupid. I think they're dunces. I think they're bozos, okay? And this is fine, because they're watching the first, like, 500 episodes of One Piece, which is a slog. to be honest with you. It's a slog. I only got through it because I have been reading it at the bookstore. And the reason I've been reading it at the bookstore is, I read Chainsaw Man in the bookstore, and I was like, this is too good. And I am too focused on my phone and not focused enough on doing my job. So I decided I wanted something that wasn't as good. And I also wanted something that was, like, I wouldn't run out of it. Because it was annoying to finish Chainsaw Man and have to think about what to read. And then I tried to read The Dangers in My Heart, and I was like, why am I reading this right now? And I tried to read something else, I don't remember. But I remember trying to read The Dangers in My Heart and thinking, like, okay, this is stupid. Like, I can't be doing this in the freaking bookstore right now. So I wanted something that wouldn't run out, because I hated just being stuck where I would, like, try to be figuring out what to watch next during my free time. Because I wanted my free time to be actually, like, hanging out and doing fun stuff, not, like, figuring out what to read. And what fits these two boxes worse than Chainsaw Man and super duper long and I'll never run out of it? One Piece does. So I've been reading One Piece on and off, feeling like this is too repetitive and it's boring and I don't like it, and then dropping it and then picking it back up again, etc., you know. But I've finally gotten deep enough into it that it's, like, fun, and I've been reading it in my free time now. This all stands to say that eventually I will hit episode 900-ish, or chapter 900-ish, and that is the part in the story where they had a second art style change. So they went from, like, the 90s anime art style to the HD, like, digital art, and then they switched from that to, like, a new art style that is supposed to be a lot better and have more animation. It's just supposed to be, like, a better show, right? So when I get there, I'm going to try the anime again. And I'm going to see if I like it. Because, you know, if, like, the anime looks great, then I would prefer it to the manga, I think. But we'll have to see, right? Because the way that they handle pacing and the way that they handle what to include and what not to include is going to be a lot more difficult. Because the way that the author wrote One Piece is it's, like, very lighthearted and funny. All the time. Like, even in serious moments, there will be little, like, one-off jokes. And you're supposed to feel like, okay, this matters and this is very important. But you're also supposed to be able to laugh during it. You're not supposed to be, like, holding your breath almost ever. It's reserved, like, that tone where there are no jokes is reserved for, like, the truest high-stakes moments in the whole story, you know? Like, right after Impel Down, without, you know, spoiling anything. These are moments where it's, like, super, super, super intense, and there are no jokes, right? Well, almost none, at least. But then, you know, there'll be, like, this huge fight, and it's, like, very intense, but then one of the characters will just, like, have something silly happen to them, and then they all laugh. Or, like, the robot guy will shoot a laser, and then everybody will, like, whoa, lasers! And they're like, this is so cool. And then Nami is like, this guy is so stupid. Why are they so excited about lasers? Like, you're literally fighting right now, you know? And they do, like, these little cutaway gags. But they do them so often that in an anime, it would just be so annoying. But in a manga where the pacing just necessarily feels a lot faster, because you can read faster than you can watch the characters say everything and then, like, have breaks between what they're saying to do actions, just necessarily you're going to be able to read faster. It's just a product of the medium. And because of that, the cutaway jokes are, like, a lot more excusable in manga format in a manga format than they would be in anime. So this makes me kind of wonder about, like, the kinds of things that they're going to cut out. Because some of these jokes are, like, jokey, but also they introduce, like, a little bit of exposition or, like, backstory about the way that the world works. You know, like, it can change the way that you think about certain things. So, like, when I was watching this arc and then also reading it, I watched and was like, oh wow, like this is some real character development for Luffy, like main guy Luffy, he's getting some real character development. The fact that he agreed to do this is like crazy. Like he's so much more mature than before, and he's able to listen to other people, even if he comes across the same way and is the same character at his core. But then, like I looked at the manga version of it, and there's like a joke in there that explains Luffy's reasoning for doing this thing, and it made me like not feel like that character development was the same, right? And I wouldn't want to watch the anime and be like, oh, his character is developing and this is what the story is doing now, and then like there's nothing else with that, and then I'm like, well, what happened to the character development, right? Because the anime isn't going to like veer off because of these changes. It's still going to adapt the manga like as faithfully as it can. So because of that, I'm just like kind of I'm hesitant to watch the anime over reading the manga. But the big fights are cool, and I love Frankie's voice. I love Frankie's voice so much. I want to hear him yell super all the time, dude. He's so funny. He's so funny sounding. He's so silly. I actually am such a huge Frankie fan. But oh, are they gonna? Okay. So yeah, I mean that's really my rant. Is I had fun comparing the two. At least for the Fishman Island remake anime, I prefer the manga. Even though there are definitely benefits to both. Also, this arc is way, way, way too sexual. It's really unpleasant. It's like really unpleasant. Because it's like the racism allegory arc. And they have a lot of like nice things to say and powerful messages, and it's like well done, except for that like interspersed throughout it is just so much like sexist weird garbage. It's really weird, but I don't, whatever man. I don't understand the people that say One Piece is peak, okay? Because One Piece will have a moment that is great, but it also has all of these moments where Sanji is a pervert, and you're like, okay, like, I wish this wasn't happening. And then everyone's like, I'm a pervert. It's just terrible. It's terrible. But the parts that are epic are freaking epic. Guys, if you watched the beginning, you remember when that dog stood in front of the shop? Dude, when that dog stood in front of the shop, dude, I love that dog. I don't remember his name. It might have been like Chow Chow or something. But he was a little dog, and he stood in front of that store and was like, yeah, dude, he's freaking awesome. And then he stood in front of the pirates, and he was like, yeah, doggy. And Buggy the Clown. I love Buggy the Clown. He's so funny. God, but okay, so I like watching things with my dad. And what did we watch this time? Other than I've read One Piece while he did stupid watching movie clips on his iPad and on Facebook, which is crazy. I don't understand how he does it. I feel like, I don't know, man. They're just things that he would have more fun doing, I think. But whatever. He's very stubborn sometimes about this kind of thing. Not in a bad way. He's great, okay? He's great. Everybody loves my dad. Everybody loves Dale. This is true. But, yeah, so we watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Movie 3 together. And, dude, I wish they would have just done their own thing. And maybe I'm stupid for this, right? Maybe I'm the idiot. But I wish they would have just done their own thing. If they were going to have Shadow join, and he's going to be like this military project that's been locked away for 50 years, like, why don't we just, like, make our own stuff about it? Because they have freaking, what's his name, Tom. They have Tom, Sonic's best friend. Guys, I'm gonna start calling him Chris, because I can't remember his name, and every time I think Chris Thorndike, who is the guy from Sonic X, the TV show from when I was child. So I'm just gonna, if I forget Tom's name, I'm gonna call him Chris, okay? But, like, if we have Tom here, then, you know, already the story is not what it's gonna be. You know? It's not gonna be the normal Sonic Adventure 2 story where Shadow is here. And also, the Chaos Emeralds are the Master Emerald, and the Master Emerald is relatively small, and Knuckles is like the protector, quote-unquote, but that just means he gave it to some dude. And God, I hate Knuckles. I hate Knuckles in this movie. I hate Knuckles in all the movies that he's in. Because he just could have been awesome. He could have been awesome because Knuckles is so cool. He's, like, stupid and hot-headed and strong, but he's also, like, he's like a religious man, you could say. He's very serious about his spiritual duty to protect the Master Emerald. And he says his little prayer, and he carries on the legacy of his, like, basically eliminated race of echidnas. You know? And it's, like, really, he's got a cool duality going on. And he's awesome. But in this movie, he's just, like, he's just a freaking meathead. He's just a muscle guy. That's all he is. And I just don't like that, man. I wish that he was freaking Knuckles the Echidna, not, like, stupid, big, strong guy. And maybe I have to take this up with Sonic Boom, right? But even Sonic Boom kept his, like, weird insight. Like, you know in the TV show, that one clip that always went around of the, like, the gender stereotypes clip, where Amy is like, and Amy scores the goal, and it's a, like, big victory for women everywhere. And then Knuckles is like, you know, Amy, by calling attention to this, you're just, like, reinforcing the fact that the like, dichotomy even exists, and you're really not doing that much. You're just kind of pushing yourself even farther back. And they're like, whoa, like, why does Knuckles say that? Because he's the stupid guy. But they even kept that. But in this movie, he just doesn't have any of it. The most insightful or, like, sweet, like, the most insightful kind of thing that he says is at the end of the movie when he goes, Team Sonic, and then puts his fist out for a fist bump. And it's like, dude, where is, like, the Chaos Emeralds or the 7 servers of chaos or whatever, dude? Say your little prayer. And God. And because the Chaos Emeralds were like this, the Chaos Emeralds weren't even, like, used in the big robot evil machine, you know? The big robot wasn't even used. Or sorry, the Chaos Emeralds didn't even use, like, the big machine that was gonna piss on the Earth. It didn't even use the Chaos Emeralds. And because it didn't use the Chaos Emeralds, like, it just kind of was like, what do they need to find to turn it on? And it was just 2 random keys that Gunn had. And it was just like, okay, like, I guess that makes sense. Like, if you want to have Tom and his wife be a part of the movie, then it makes sense to just have them, like, infiltrate the military base or whatever. But it's just less awesome than finding the Chaos Emeralds, and then you don't get, like, the cool moment where Tails, like, has the fake emerald, and there's not, like, the Sonic versus Shadow, like, where, like, Shadow has all these cool powers, but he's like fighting for the wrong reasons, and then Sonic, like, through will and grit and love of his friends. Sorry, I'm merging. There's no, like, where Sonic, where, like, grit and love for his friends and stuff, he doesn't get to do, like, the cool chaos control, like, moment with the fake emerald, you know? So that just kind of leaves, like, what's the dichotomy between them gonna be? And the dichotomy between them was literally just, like, Sonic has friends and Shadow doesn't. And so that's the difference between them, is Sonic always knows to do the right thing and follow his friends, and Shadow doesn't. And it's like, dude, no! That's not the difference between them. The difference between them is that Shadow was created by a military scientist to be the ultimate life form. Right? And because they didn't have that dichotomy where Shadow was, like, trying to figure out what his purpose is and, like, figure out what Maria was trying to tell him, they also don't have to do, like, is Shadow the ultimate life form, and, like, if he isn't, then what even is he? And, like, trying to find himself moment. And because of that, they just, like, don't include the bio lizard. And there's, like, all this nuance that's just totally lost, right? And I was thinking about this, like, how can they add all these wonderful things from Sonic Adventure 2? And the answer is just to cut out all the parts with Tom. There's just not enough time in the film to do Tom and Sonic's friends, and then also all the Sonic Adventure 2 stuff. There's just not enough time. They don't have to do all of it, right? Like, I don't need Sonic to be captured by the military. I don't need Amy to go break him out. I don't need Sonic and Tails and everybody in Eggman to meet up on, like, the one warship, like, warplane thing. And then and then Tails and Eggman fight. Like, I don't need all these individual moments from the game. I just feel like the story from the game was, like, way more interesting. Because, like, all the characters had their own stuff. And then there was, like, the Tails and Eggman kind of thing, where they did, like, Tails and Eggman had, like, this weird kind of, like, family type relationship where it was like, we're both the, like, technology geniuses, and they were, like, both sorry guys, I gotta merge. They're, like, both the technology geniuses, and it just kind of leads to, like, Eggman and Tails are, like, talking about all this stuff and saying, like, we have to do what's right and, like, work together on this. And they kind of form this bond even though they've been fighting the whole time, because they're both, like, the tech geniuses. But they just replaced that with Eggman, like, meeting up with his grandfather, who is, like, alive and over 100 years old and evil. And another problem I have with his grandfather being evil... Okay, first let me finish the Tails thought. The Tails thought is, like, Tails was left with his only thing being telling Sonic to be a good person, which is already Tom's job. And so Knuckles has lost his purpose by just being a big, like, muscle guy. Tails has lost his purpose by not having this kind of, like, relationship with Eggman, and not, like, developing the fake emerald, and not like, flying his plane literally ever. Like, he invented, like, 2 things for this. One of them was a hologram of himself and Knuckles to trick Sonic so that they could give him a surprise birthday party. And the other one was handcuffs. And it's like, dude, what? Like, that's so lame. They're, like, Tails is supposed to have an epic plane on the power of a Chaos Emerald, like... And that's why he invented the fake emerald, was to power his plane. And that's why they have the fake emerald, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I'll change the fake emerald to explode, and that's how we'll defeat Eggman, is we'll, like, give him this fake emerald, and then we'll trick him. But in this, it's just like he loses all that interesting stuff that he does, and so does Knuckles. And then Eggman just gets this, like, relationship with his dad, which is fine. It fits the themes of the movie, where you have to, like, do what's right and, like, stick by your friends. Like, I'm fine with this, right? But it fits the theme of the movie. It's just, like, not as epic. I feel like I'm watching a children's movie, and I am, okay? But, like, I just feel like I'm watching a children's movie as opposed to watching something awesome like Sonic Adventure 2, you know? Because we're focusing literally just on, like, stick by your friends, and, like, be kind, and do the right thing, and that's the difference in Sonic and Shadow, is Sonic knows how to do the right thing. And I just, like, I don't know, man. So then, Eggman's grandfather is, like, super evil, right? Like, he wants to blow up the planet and then also himself. He's gonna, like, he's basically suicide bombing the Earth for revenge over Maria. And it just makes more sense in Sonic Adventure 2 that he would do this, right? Because in this movie, he just seems like an evil guy. In Sonic Adventure 2, he's, like, gone insane. He's been in solitary confinement for, like, years, right? For, like, years and years, he's been in solitary confinement. And in this time, he, like, has this video where he's tied to a chair and he's explaining his evil plan, right? And it's just like, I don't see him tied up in the chair, and he's alive and he's well. So why is he, like, killing himself? Why is he suicide bombing the freaking Earth? He just feels like evil and not, like, insane or, like, crazed from being, like, treated so terribly after losing his family, you know? Especially because, like, in one of the parts of the movie, he calls Shadow his kid. So I think he's supposed to have, like, this relationship with Shadow where he, like, truly loves him like a son. But then if that's the case, why he says, like, I have nothing, and, like, I'll never be happy again because I lost Maria and she was all I had. It's like, well, you literally have Shadow. Like, you literally have him. You know? So that's just frustrating. And then on top of all this, like, all the cool moments that are like, oh yeah, like Sonic Adventure. They play, like, orchestral, like, Marvel movie type renditions of all the songs that they use, as opposed to just using, like, the actual Sonic music. And the problem with this is that the Sonic music is way cooler. It's way more epic, you know? So when they're playing, like, Live and Learn while Sonic and Shadow are super and flying through the friggin' space and killing people, or busting up robots, I guess I should say, not killing people. Like, they're playing this weird orchestral version of Live and Learn, and it's like, dude, if you just played Live and Learn, it would be so cool! It would be so cool if you just played Live and Learn. And you're trying to make a cool scene, clearly, but this Marvel music is not helping. I don't know. I do know. It sucks. It sucks. If they wanted to make a kids movie, they shouldn't have had the plot line where, like, Dr. Gerald Robotnik is gonna kill himself. Right? If they wanted to make a kids movie about doing the right thing, they shouldn't have had the plot line where Dr. Gerald Robotnik is going to blow up the planet and himself and kill everyone for revenge. He should have had some other revenge plot. Right? Like, where he's going to destroy the Earth. But why is he going to explode himself too? That's crazy. I don't know. Like, if he's just going to blow up the Earth, then it's like, okay, whatever, he's evil. But, like, I don't think they gave him, they didn't show me enough to make me feel like he was crazy enough to want to explode himself too. In the friggin', whatever it's called, laser. Oh. Guys, this little intersection I'm at right now is so cute. It's so cute. There's a little park here. And it looks like it would be awesome if not for the fact that it's very loud here, probably. But it's very cute. It's very cute. It's only like a 15-minute drive from my house, too, so. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't. It's just going to be loud, man. I was about to say maybe on a weekend, but it's literally a weekend. So, I don't know how much quieter it'll be than this. Here's another park. This one looks like it would be a little quieter, and there are swings. I could go there. I won't, though. Yeah, so, I don't know. I just wish that, you know, I just wish. And they killed Eggman. I think Eggman is actually for real dead. Because I think that Jim Carrey doesn't want to do another one of these movies. And I think they've just killed him for that reason. And this time we're getting Amy Rose and Metal Sonic for the next movie. And it's like, well, is Metal Sonic going to be his own enemy? Are we going to get like, I know everything you're going to do, but you know everything I'm going to do type Strange, Isn't It movie? I said that backwards. And like that would be fine, but like what? Like are we gonna say that like Dr. Eggman isn't the guy that released Metal Sonic or something? And how did Shadow live? You can't have your cake and eat it too, okay? Like we retconned Shadow's death, right? We said, okay, actually Shadow didn't die. But it wasn't like Shadow sacrificed himself and then actually was alive in Sonic Adventure. It was just retconned later because they wanted Shadow back. And I would so much rather have this movie say Shadow freaking died and he sacrificed himself and it was beautiful, like they do in Sonic Adventure. And then Sonic goes freaking sayonara Shadow the Hedgehog and it's like, oh! But no, dude, we got stupid freaking... Dusty's gonna be having a field day with this episode. I'm just, like, angrily yapping about how the Sonic movie wasn't Sonic enough. Dude, it's over for me. Yeah, but it's just like Shadow sacrifices himself and he takes off his rings. We don't know what that means, by the way. We don't, like, we're not told that means that he's taking off the limiters on his thing. He just takes them off. So, you know, also, does Shadow say Chaos Control a single time? Or is it not Chaos Control because he doesn't have a Chaos Emerald, because the Chaos Emeralds are the Master Emerald? And he can just teleport for fun, like... Ugh. And he does Chaos Spears at the end, too, but he doesn't say it. I'm just frustrated, man. They gave us all these little Easter eggs, but it didn't feel like Easter eggy. You know? Like, okay, in Dragon Ball Daima, they give us all these little things from the show. So, like, you know, they'll position the characters so that it's like Goku shooting his Kamehameha move at Vegeta. It's like that positioning where he shoots it from below and the other guy shoots it from up high. I'll be like, oh my god, that's like the thing. Or they do a transformation and it's like, oh my god, that's like the thing, you know? And it's like all these cute little references to stuff that happened. But it's like fun because they're little Easter eggs for the adults in this kid movie. In this Sonic movie, it doesn't feel the same because they're doing like maybe 70% of the same storyline, just they cut out all the cool stuff. And then they'll like show us a little glimpse of something and it's like supposed to be like an Easter egg, but really it just feels like they like only went halfway in on creating the Sonic Adventure 2 movie. And it's just like annoying because it could have been Epic Town. It could have been freaking Epic Town, but instead it's a Lame Town, guys. It's Lame Town. Yeah. So that's basically what's up. I didn't like that movie very much, but I did like the Chow Cafe. They went to a Chow Cafe, and I was like, oh my god, that's so awesome. Except for that some of the chows weren't real. Why would they make it so that some of the chows aren't chows that you get? Just make them all the real chows. You have so many different kinds of chow. Ugh. Guys, this is my most embarrassing episode ever. I literally just, like, said, guys, the One Piece manga is better than the anime. And then I was like, if you want the real Sonic Adventure 2 story experience, you have to play the game. The movie sucks. Like, I am the most unbelievable dweeb, nerd, loser this episode. And I am so happy that you have come along for the ride. I'm so happy that you've come along for the ride. Dude, I actually have no idea where I am. Like, this... Oh my god, I know exactly where I am. I was about to say this route is, like, one that I have never gone on before, but as soon as I was saying it, I appear at Trader Joe. I still have not seen the Haruhi movie. I thought about watching it, and then I was like, am I really going to watch it on a little itsy bitsy screen? Because I have this, like, huge computer monitor screen now, and it looks so good. It looks so good. So I think I want to watch the movie on there. And that means that I'm going to have to wait. Well, this person has a cute Sailor Moon license plate holder. From the first season of Sailor Moon, when there were only 5 of them. And they, like, are 90s-y. Well, they're 90s-y for more than that, but... It's, like, just the first 5. And it's really cute. They all have heart eyes, and there are hearts and stuff all over it. And it's, like, a peach color. Yeah. I reached out to the tournament organizer for this... I'm sure I talked about it. There's a tournament happening at Cal Poly Pomona for Melee that I'm interested in attending. And then they also are supposed to have Ultimate, so I'm going to try to get, like, the Ultimate players at my campus to come. And I'm going to make it, like, this whole school-wide thing. And then they said they would have a Valorant event. So far, you know, it seemed like the Ultimate event was canceled, but I asked around, and it turns out that it's actually not canceled. It's going to be happening, and I'm going to get my school excited. I'm going to get everybody to go. And then there's also Melee there, so I will be playing Melee, and I'm going to be prioritizing Melee. I'm going to try to... I probably won't be watching the Haruhi movie in the next, like, week or two, because I'm going to be trying to play Melee a lot to, like... So that I move well, right? I don't need to, like, be playing fantastic at this tournament. I just want to have fun. But I do want to be moving well. I don't want to be rusty when I get there, because otherwise it'll just be, like, kind of annoying. It won't be fun. So I just want to make sure that I'm in practice. I think Olympia, the new Rivals character, actually comes out the same weekend. But... yeah, so that's fun. I'm going to just be playing Melee. And then the Valorant tournament seems like it might not happen. They said that they would tell me as soon as they knew more, but I can't tell. The problem... oh, I did talk about this. I need to know so that I can tell the Valorant team. And they haven't confirmed or denied anything yet. So the problem is I have to gather the Valorant team. So I am going to tell them. I'm just going to, tomorrow, message all of them and say, hey guys, listen. There's potentially a tournament. They have, like, been on and off about if it's going to happen. If it does happen, it's on this day. I'd love if you would tell me that you can make it, or if you can't, so that we can kind of, like, have a team together to make sure if it happens, we can attend. But, you know, I understand if you, like, don't want to commit to something that, like, might not even happen. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna send out that message tomorrow. I'm very excited to get the Smash people riled up and, like, ready to play. I'm gonna try to carpool with a bunch of people, and we're gonna like bring our college, and it's gonna be sick. We're gonna have fun. Yeah. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. But yeah, so it was really fun hanging out with my dad. His back hurts really bad right now. He like hurt his back working at Home Depot and sleeping poorly. So he went to the chiropractor, and he's getting that fixed. But it was really fun going and hanging out with him. But now I'm on my way back home, and let me tell you guys, I am excited to play Fragpunk. Guys, I want to play Fragpunk so bad. It's such a fun game. I've been enjoying the gunplay. It's the first time I've enjoyed a game. No, that's not true. I was going to say it's the first time I've enjoyed this kind of gunplay in a game, like a Call of Duty style, like not one bullet to kill, kind of like fast-paced running around type of game. It's not the first time I've enjoyed that, but this is the first time that I've ever been decent at that kind of game. This is the first time that I've ever been okay at it. So, you know, I'm excited to play. I'm excited to see Kai and hang out with him. And I have some tea that my grandmother gave me. My grandparents received this tea as a gift. And they had one packet and said, "Ew, yucko. This is not for me. We don't like it. Let's give it away." What's confusing about that is that this one packet is like there are 3 or 4 flavors. There are 3 or 4 kinds of tea. They only tried one. And Grampy was like, "I don't like this tea." And they were like, "Okay, I guess we're just not going to ever have it then." So I just thought that was funny. But yeah, it's for Cammy now. Let me take off my sunglasses. Anyways, guys, we're nearing the end of the episode here. And when I say nearing, I mean I've arrived, and I just have to think of something to make you comment below. Everybody, comment below. I don't know, dude. Comment below. Oh, that one's stupid. Oh, I have no idea. Everybody, okay, listen up. If you have read a manga of something that you've also watched the anime for, if that's the case, okay, then I need you to comment below, did you like the anime or manga more? And then if you've not done that, like if you haven't, if you have never read a manga for an anime that you've watched, then comment below, you're so nerdy, Batpeg. Comment below, you're so nerdy, Batpeg. But if you have read the manga and then watched the anime for something, then you have to comment that down below too instead. So, anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Like, subscribe, do all the great stuff, and yes, goodbye. It's so beautiful out today.